Hi, my name is David Parker, and throughout my life, I've had many spirit encounters with beings, some UFO sightings, and I'm now recording some of my events that happened in my life. This one happened when I was a child. I lived on my grandmother's farm in southern Ohio. This would have been between about 1958 to the early 1960s. In the backyard by my bedroom window, there very often would be this man standing there. I would see maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks. He was completely solid, a big, stocky guy, had a hat on, like a thick jacket, baggy pants, kind of big work boots, and he had an apron on. You'd flip over your head and hang down, and it kind of went to like the middle of his thighs. And I was scared. I remember telling my grandmother, and she ran out there, and I heard her talking, and then came back in, and she just says, you'll be all right. So anyway, so I just kind of got used to it. Now and then, he would talk, and I would go up to him and say, can I help you? Are you lost? What's going on here? And he would say the same thing over and over again. He would say, it'll be all right when Roy gets home. Roy'll know what to do. That's all I would say. It'll be all right when Roy gets home. Roy'll know what to do. And I would talk to him and he wouldn't look at me. He just stared horizontally. And I thought, well, okay. I had a brother who was named Roy, and sometimes he would visit. And when I did see the man, I'd take Roy up to him. I said, well, Roy's here. What do you want Roy to do? I remember my brother taking off. I don't know if he saw him or not, but he wouldn't go play in the backyard anymore. So this went on for ages, maybe a couple of years. Just every now and then I'd see him, and when he'd talk, I'd go up and talk to him. And when he didn't talk, I just went up and said, hello. If there's anything I can do, let me know. And one day we had multiple family members over, and he was in the backyard again, and he was talking. And so I went in and I told my grandmother, well, he's talking again, the man in an apron. And she was saying, well, why is he wearing an apron? And, describe it. So to me, I did finally get to describe it. It looked like it was made out of leather, and it looked like it came down and folded back up and was sewn and had little pockets sewn into it. And finally, someone said, that's not an apron. That's a work belt. There's somebody in their work belt back there. Everybody goes, they don't see him. I see him clear as day. And my grandmother then thinks, oh my gosh, Roy. My grandmother's husband, my grandfather, who died before I was born, his name was Roy. And then it kind of hit as to who this person was and the location where I would see this man. And in the early 1940s, we had a family member who was working on the roof of the house. We had an old tin roof. My grandparents had gone somewhere. When they came back later, they saw the man, his name was Eugene, had fallen off the roof and was laying exactly where I was seeing the spirit. They got him up and put him in the truck and took him to a hospital, but he was already dead. So here's Eugene, since the early 1940s, waiting for Roy to come because Roy would know what to do. And Roy did what he could, but my feeling is that spirit had already left the body and didn't realize that he was dead. And he has spent all this time waiting for Roy to come. Well, Roy came and did what he could, but it was just a little too late. I haven't been back to the farmhouse since, probably mid-1960s. I keep thinking if it's still even there, I would love to go back and see if Eugene's still there waiting. Also several other spirits that kind of inhabited that part of the woods.